Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for mid-July right through to mid-August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I'm going to get to your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. Also, you may notice the absence of the Gaia chimes. A lot of subscribers have mentioned that, I cleanse the reading before I start your reading. Of course, I do that all the time. And then to do it in the reading as well, they thought it was taking up a lot of time. So I thought I'll trial some readings without the Gaia chimes. I personally miss them, but I thought I will trial it and see what happens. Let me know what you think, my beautiful Scorpio, and let's get straight to your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know right now regarding their love life? Can you please show them the way? Now, right now, because I'm scrying in the water at the same time as doing your reading, I can see a mountain top, there's several mountain tops there, and the moon. Now, the moon is moving, actually. It seems to be going behind the mountains. Now, mountains tend to represent hardship or struggle. It can also indicate that some of you may feel like your love life peaked and that perhaps there's uncertainty now. You may feel very isolated. I mean, there is an energy here of you being a very strong person, and perhaps some of you may feel like your presence intimidates some people when it comes to love, but actually the right person is going to love that about you. The moon energy can indicate a lament. If you think about the nature of the moon itself, the moon is magnetic. You are magnetic. You draw a lot of people in towards you. And, the moon can indicate that almost like you've shut off that magnetism about yourself. You have stopped attracting people because perhaps you're attracting the wrong sort of person, or you tend to meet people who are already committed there. The moon, I'm just getting this energy of chastity, okay? I'm just getting this energy of withdrawal from the dating scene, and I don't often get that energy from the moon, although it is connected to that. I feel a lot of you are called to romance your life a little bit more, but the moon can indicate an ebb and flow. Like there is a searching element about you where sometimes you feel called to search or be open to love, but perhaps there's a lack, a deficiency of the right sort of person that you're kind of looking for, and therefore you withdraw. And, there's this ebb and flow within you. So sometimes you may feel called to want to be in love, and then other times you're like, nope, I'm all good by myself. So I also feel like there is an energy of you needing someone with depth, okay? You're a very deep person, and the moon energy can indicate a hesitancy to get involved with just any old person. You require someone who is strong enough to walk by your side. You require someone who has met themselves on a very deep level. So that's something that's coming through there. I'm just seeing that image of mountaintops with a moon. This could be something you will see over the next coming weeks and months that highlight that you're about to meet a person, because the moon is all about romance as well. And although it has been hard to find the right person, I feel the struggle is kind of dissipating. That's the energy I'm getting from the image that I can see. Okay, so let's get straight to your reading. The first card there is the letter. So, interesting. Now, I feel some of you, not all of you, are already connecting to somebody, or there is some sort of correspondence. Not all of you. I'm going to apply the energy first to the people who are talking to someone new at this time. I feel there is an energy of this going further, okay? This person, actions speak louder than words. So watch their actions, of course, because we've got words here, but the man in the Lenormand deck is all about action. So do remember that, of course. That is the key to a healthy relationship. Someone can give you lots of flowery words, and they can mean it too. But sometimes, it's important to recognize that even though we mean to do something, sometimes we can, either run out of time to do something, we can promise something and not deliver, even though our intentions are pure. That's life. Sometimes we promise and we just can't get round to doing it. But someone who is meant for you and someone who is truly interested in you, their actions match their words. Now, of course, sometimes, as I mentioned, life gets in the way. Sometimes we have to let a person down if we promise something. Scorpios don't tend to let people down. They try to honor their promises. I'm a Scorpio too, so I completely understand that. But if someone is consistently letting you down or consistently, telling you one thing, but you can see that actually that's not the case, I feel it's important to acknowledge that actions speak louder than words. So I feel a lot of you are connecting to a person of action at this time, someone whose actions match their words, and that is refreshing. So, this key in the resistance position, it can indicate that you've been searching for the one and you're about to have a breakthrough. And this person is going to, if you're talking to someone, I feel they're actually going to invite you to a very special event, okay? And they're going to, in this event, let you into their world. It feels like, I'm not sure if it's meeting friends right now, but I feel they tell you a secret, they let you in, and it's not that they're a secretive person. I feel like they're very discerning about how they conduct their life, and they're going to open up and trust you with something, trust you with a secret, or trust you with some aspect of their life, because they know that they can trust you. And that opening allows you to see that this person, they're the one. Okay, so if you're talking to someone right now, I definitely see here with these cards that this person is going to document their feelings as well. They're going to let you know how they feel. They're going to speak it, but also perhaps write you something or give you a card, or it could be a text message, but I feel this person is very romantic. They may try to actually physically write something. I'm also seeing cameras right now, something like, what's that called? A Polaroid camera. Okay, so they could actually take some Polaroid pictures of things that you love. Doesn't have to be of you or them. It can be, if you're interested in a certain album by a musician, it could be that they take a picture of the cover of that album and then write something meaningful on that Polaroid picture and give it to you as a token that they're listening, that they understand you, they know what's important to you. So this person has a lot of depth to them, okay? So that's coming through there, and I do see it moving towards a high-level commitment. So if you're connecting to someone right now, I definitely see here, watch their actions, but I feel it's heading in the right direction at this time. For those of you who are not connected to anyone right now, the letter could indicate that you are writing down things that are important to you, journaling. It can be that you are writing attributes that you want from a relationship or from a person that are important, like deal breakers, okay? So this card can indicate that, there is some sort of communication to yourself, from your higher self, actually, is what I'm being given, of the things that you require in a relationship. So if in the past you've been in previous relationships where you're like, I really wanted this attribute from a person in a relationship, but this person, they ticked a lot of boxes, but not all the boxes. Now, of course, we can't have all the boxes all the time, right? But if there's a deal breaker attribute that you're like, okay, that's important to me, and then you sacrifice that, I feel you're making a declaration to self that you're no longer going to sacrifice that, if that makes sense, okay? My guys just said, for example, okay, for example. Gosh, do I have an example? So for example, okay, many, many moons ago, I went on a date with a person, okay, and it was a second date, I think it was, and they were so lovely on the first date, so lovely. Everyone's on their best behavior on the first, second, third dates, right? And the second date, we went for dinner, and the person that I was on a date with, they were very rude to the waiter. And I was like, oh, that's not cool. What's happening there? I don't like that at all. I almost felt like I had to apologize to the waiter for their behavior, even though it wasn't to do with me. And it wasn't what I was doing. And it was an indication, it was a red flag immediately that this person, they have like a complex where they feel like they're better than other people in some way. And, anyway, long story short, that red flag sat with me after the date. And I was like, okay, I really did not like that about that person. And I thought, okay, you know what? I'll give them one more date to see. Maybe it was just a one-off. Sometimes we make excuses and think, okay, they forgot themselves. But no, they actually showed their true colors in that moment. And that should have been the red flag that I needed, because ultimately that was their true self coming out in a moment where they forgot themselves, okay? And on the next date, something similar happened in another I can't even remember where we went, but there was, another moment where they were, let's just say, a little bit rude to the person. I think we were we went to the cinema, and to the movies, and basically when they were getting the tickets, something happened with the tickets and they were like questioning it, and they were just rude. So in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I sacrificed my red flag. I knew from the second date, actually, no, this person is not the person for me, because they are behaving in a way that does not sit well with me at all. And, I allowed them the benefit of the doubt. And in that third date, I was like, nope, no. But I'm highlighting there for you that you are making a declaration to self that anything that is important to you, like manners, so important to me, someone conducting themselves with empathy, with kindness. Everybody's going through something. You don't know what they're going through. So we have to be kind at all times. It's just nature. A good heart will do that naturally. So I feel it's important to recognize that deal breakers on your list, not to be compromised. And this is you making a declaration to self, especially if you've had experiences from the past. The letter can also highlight that although you're not talking to someone right now, you will be talking to someone who's going to be very romantic, someone who basically will document their feelings, not just tell you. They'll show you with action, but also, they will do things like write musical lyrics for you, or poetry, or create art. Someone who is very creative in nature. So I do see a romance that will be budding for you. We do have that key energy. So I feel like you have not had a breakthrough in love for a long time. I mean, the key is destiny. So I feel a lot of you are highlighting previous experiences where you were connected to a person that at that moment you thought were your destiny, but they were there to teach you a lesson. And you're taking that lesson with you, okay? I feel a lot of you could actually write a book, a memoir about the experiences you've had in the dating world, as it were, because I feel like you've been through a lot of challenging relationship experiences there. And I feel the right person that you're about to meet is someone who is almost like your final chapter. Your new chapter, but your final chapter, if that makes sense, because this one is for keeps. I'm also being given a song right now. Very famous song. I think it has come up in a reading in the past before. Maybe not for your sign. I'm not really sure on that. But it's definitely come up for one of the collective before. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. That's a very famous song by Foreigner, okay? The band Foreigner there. And this may be a song that you'll hear over the next coming weeks that highlights that you're about to meet a person who resonates with what your idea of love is. Because I feel like you've been in previous relationships in the past where you may be questioning those relationships as well and asking, did they ever really love you? Okay, I feel like the answer is yes, and they'll never forget you. In fact, I see for some of you with the Mercury retrograde, you're going to hear from an ex. Someone, there's going to be some sort of correspondence. There's someone in your energy field right now. Even if there was no physical connection between you both, there was some sort of chemistry. I see a lot of you getting a correspondence from someone who just cannot forget you. okay? Because I do get this energy. You are unforgettable in relationships. You know, you are someone who's passionate. You have a depth to you. You have mystery. You know, you're, oh my gosh, my guides are giving me this. You're the sort of love that people write about. That's what I just heard. And I feel that level of intensity of love scares some people, but it scares the wrong people away. So that's important to recognize, because the right person is going to be strong enough to walk by your side, okay? And you are about to meet your destiny. The key is all about destiny. So I feel like you are going to meet the person who is fated to meet you. I just see that, you know, you're being brought together. This person may also, there's an item of jewelry that's very important to this person, and they may wear it on a date with you. You know, I want to say it's connected to a key, but actually I'm also seeing a ring. Okay, so this could be family heirloom. I'm feeling it's not from a previous relationship. I feel it's a family heirloom. That's what I'm being given there as well. They wear this with them. It's very important. It will be a topic of conversation. And that highlights to you that this person, things matter to this person. You know, they're not just looking for a quick fix or fling. This person is invested in people and in situations in their life. And signs and symbols matter to this person. So they honor people through like wearing jewelry that has a connection, or if someone like purchases them a gift, they will never like throw that gift out. They'll always keep it. It's important. So this person, things matter to them, okay? And I mean, we do have the man energy at the end, which is in the Lenormand deck. It means action. So a lot of you, this could be that you are kind of like getting ready to take action and put yourself in a position to meet your destiny, to get out there and do something. Because I get this energy that some of you, even though you're withdrawn from love because you feel there's no one out there right now, so why waste your time? Every time you get out there, I feel like you connect to people. I feel like you attract people because you are magnetic, but it feels like it ends up you questioning and feeling really uncertain, almost being given mixed signals by people. And then it kind of leads nowhere. So I feel like you were so fed up with that you've withdrawn, but now I feel like you're getting back out there. And of course, although this is a man, for a lot of you, this could be that you're going to meet a masculine energy there, or someone who takes action, someone who's not afraid to open themselves up to love. But, you know, it's even got the first letter of the alphabet there, A. I mean, I'm seeing the word adventure here as well, but so that can be relevant. But I feel a lot of you have been called to focus on yourself at this time, and now it's time to get yourself out there and allow yourself to be seen. That's what I'm feeling more than anything. It's number 28. When you reduce it, 2 + 8 is 10, which is an ending, signaling a new beginning. So I definitely see Wheel of Fortune energy. I feel destiny is going to put you in a position to meet the right person out of the blue, as it were, because when you get the key and number 10, which is connected to the Wheel of Fortune there, it can indicate that suddenly, when you're least expecting it, you're involved in an event or a circumstance where the person of your dreams just walks into your life. And you're someone who's very discerning. You can almost like spot, like with laser focus, a person who is right for you. But this person, I feel, when you meet them, there's this moment where you're like, oh my gosh, they're right for me. And then suddenly you almost like talk yourself out of it. Like, oh, I've been here before. And every time I thought someone was right for me, it ended up being a real doozy, or it was not right for me at all. So it's almost like you're questioning yourself. But I feel like you were meant to meet those people in your past in order to teach you a lesson, in order to make you stronger. I hate that message as well. You know, I've had some really horrible experiences when it comes to love in the past, but you know, I learned a lot of things and I became very strong because of it and very independent. And I feel like you're on that path right now, especially since you have number 27 with the letter 27. When you reduce it is 9. That's a hermit energy. You've been called on purpose to be on pause so that you can focus on your mission, so that you can, you know, honor yourself and know your value and not sacrifice the things that, you know, are very meaningful for you when it comes to relationships. Because, of course, you know, we can meet people who we think on paper, it feels like it should be perfect, you know, and then suddenly when you get to know a person and you see their traits and you start to go, Okay, that's bothering me. Anything that bothers you on a soul level, amplify it by 100. Because in 5 years' time, when you're with that person, anything that at the beginning makes you feel a bit, it amplifies. Okay, because relationships are all about compromise. Okay, and about loving all the good, bad, and ugly of each other, because no one's perfect. But if there's something that irks you right at the beginning, magnify it, because that's what's going to happen as you move through your relationships. That's something that my mom always says, and she is right. So let's get straight to your Celtic cross, just to see who's coming towards you, because ultimately, looking at this energy, I'm seeing here that you are destined to meet a person who actually shows you what love is. Because I feel like you have been the person who's been an overgiver, or you're the person who's brought the magic to relationships in the past. I feel there's a person who's coming in to show you how meaningful you are in a relationship, who's really stepping up and will never step out, even when the going gets tough. I'm also seeing that some of you, if you are a writer, or you're connected to writing, or you've thought about writing something, or getting involved in a course about writing, I'm being drawn so heavily to the pen there, the calligraphy pen there. So I feel there could be something in and around that. So if you are promising yourself to go on a course of learning to write a screenplay or poetry or something creative, I definitely see you could meet a person connected to that. I'm just going to go get that card because it flew across the floor there. It's actually the Hangman, which is the waiting game. A lot of you have been in the waiting room of life when it comes to your love life, but you haven't just been on hold, darning your socks by candlelight, waiting for love to walk on by. You have been learning new things. The Hangman is all about new knowledge. It's about spiritual evolution. It's about evolving, decluttering your life, working out who is for you, what is not for you. And also, it is about sacrifices. So that energy came up in the reading, and it's obviously a message for some of you out there. So one moment, please. I'm just going to go get that card. Sorry about that, my beautiful Scorpio. The Hangman, is the earthly plane position. So it can indicate that you're waiting, taking stock of life, your experiences, and you feel a bit suspended in your love life right now. But that will change because you have the Chariot card. Where there was no movement, suddenly there is going to be a lot of movement. I feel a lot of you have been called to focus on your direction at this time as well there. The Nine of Swords, you've been through some very turbulent times. And a lot of you, it may not even be connected to love. You've been through some upheavals. It's been like a whirlwind of constant change for you over the last couple of years. And I feel like you're trying to learn to be flexible in these changes. But I also feel with the Nine of Swords, some of you, these changes have been thrust upon you quite quickly, and you've had to, be very decisive. And also, Nine of Swords can indicate some of you have been haunted by previous experiences. Doesn't mean you want to revisit the past, especially since you've got that Two of Wands. Some of you have been getting closure on past experiences there, but it can be that if you've been hurt in the past, you may preempt that love equates pain and that you're going to be hurt again in the future, but that's not true at all. I definitely see here you're meeting a person who they're mature enough to know what they want and they say what they mean. There's nothing hidden about this person. They don't tend to keep secrets, although I feel like they will let you into their life and tell you something that they haven't told anybody. And it's not because they're keeping something, they're hiding something. It feels very much like there's something that's so meaningful to them that they just keep it sacred, private for themselves. For example, if they've got a favorite place they like to go to, if they like to maybe climb a mountain and watch the stars, or a hill, or somewhere that's close to their, hometown. It can be they have a favorite place they like to go to reflect. And they're going to let you in on that and say, you know what, I have a favorite place I love to go to. No one knows about this place, but I'm telling you where it is. And one day I'll take you there. We'll have a picnic or something like that. This person is very romantic, but also they're intense. They love meaningful things. And I feel this really sits very well for you. So Let's go and see what's going on with you right now. Your Celtic cross. Yeah, there's the Wheel of Fortune. Destiny, number 10, is going to shift everything. Suddenly, out of the blue, you're going to meet this person. We've got the Eight of Wands. It's going to happen quite quickly there. For some of you, if you have some sort of event or travel booked, doesn't have to be a vacation, but it can be an event that you travel to, but it could be a vacation as well. Eight of Wands indicates that you are going to reach your destination. And I'm kind of kicking myself. I have to mention it because I'm annoyed with myself now that I didn't mention it. But before I do your reading, I always do a 10-minute meditation. I cleanse the reading. I do a meditation on the energy. And I actually saw two pigeons. You know, when they... you know when you see pigeons and they do that little dance around each other, there's always one wooing, going woo, and, you know, following the other. And the other one's always like, kind of like going away a little bit, like... but also kind of interested because when the other pigeon walks away, they kind of like, hey, where'd the interest go? So I feel, you know, there could be this kind of like little flirtation, this wooing period when you meet this new person. Two pigeons, I mean, it could be something you're going to see. And I'm kicking myself because I can see here that there's a pigeon and I saw two of them in the water earlier. But I don't like to mention anything that comes up in the water before your reading because I don't like to influence it. It has to be when I'm actually doing your reading there, okay, in real time. Let's go and clarify a little bit more. Oof, yeah. So some of you definitely going to hear from a person from your past, someone who you made a major impact on them and they can't get over you, this person. It's almost like, and I don't really like this energy, it feels a little bit immature. It feels like they can't have you, so therefore they don't want anyone else to have you. And I'm not sure why they can't have you, but there's a Knight of Wands here. So this can indicate that this person is not emotionally available to offer you the love that you truly require and desire. Okay, it can also be that they are always reaching out to you when they feel very lusty. Physically, they cannot forget, you know, all that you shared together. But I feel there is actually a new person who's going to come in and literally change your life. Someone who is a go-getter, someone who is a little bit different than your usual type, but also is someone who you're going places with this person. So I feel there is two, but I get this energy of you will get a correspondence from a person from your past first. And again, it doesn't have to be that you are physically intimate with this person. It could be a minor flirtation you had with a person many years ago. You're going to hear from someone, and then it's almost like a signpost from the universe and say, don't go back there. There's a reason why that wasn't aligned, okay? Because there is a sacrifice here. It feels like you sacrifice one to be with another, okay? And I feel your outcome energy is the Knight of Swords there. So I feel here that there is going to be a person that you get on with, body, mind, and soul. It's like a meeting of minds and hearts. And I feel that you respond differently to this new person. It just feels so refreshingly different. They share your vision of the future. I feel there's something in you that gets really effervescent and excited with this new person. And I just feel like you're laying the past to bed in this energy right now. A lot of you are on pause on purpose. We've got that Four of Swords, which is all about, you know, protecting your energy. It's about you quietly reflecting or healing from past situations, meditating. It's a period of recuperation, but also it can indicate that you're bored with the same old people and their patterns, their cycles of repeat. So you're shutting something down, you're shutting something out at this time. Four of Swords can be closure. So even if you're like, no, I changed my number, I've blocked them on social media, they cannot have access to me, I feel a lot of you are getting closure and saying no. I do feel that a lot of you, this person will find a way to get a message to you. This could be through a friend. Because there's someone from your past who definitely wants to kind of like find out what you're up to. Physically, I feel like they want to connect. They're very lusty right now. I feel also that they have some regrets. Five of Pentacles is there. There's a lot of regret. This person struggled with their feelings. They still struggle with their feelings. And I feel that they're trying to overcome something, but they just can't at this moment in time. And I feel like you're not wanting to connect to any more time wasting kind of cycles to repeat. So they may have pure intentions, but they feel like they cannot get over a bump in their road in order to meet you halfway, if that makes sense. So the first card there is a Nine of Swords. Now, I didn't choose the cards. I wish that you didn't get the Nine of Swords, but this is your starting position. So it can indicate that you've been going through a lot of change, a lot of turbulent energy, but also you've been doing a lot of questioning there, okay? The shifting of perspective is definitely evident in your reading. Nine of Swords can indicate that there is a call to move from fear to possibility during this phase, that just because you can't see that there is the opportunity for love doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you. As you can see, this tree there is rooted. So it can indicate that your dream of planting roots with a person, you just feel like there's no opportunity right now, and you have some turbulent emotions that go with that. It almost feels like, what's the point in searching? There's no point in looking because it's not going to happen. So it's almost like you have decided to some degree that love has hurt you, or it's passed you by. Or even for some of you, you may feel that it actually kind of like upheavals your energy, or it kind of creates a lot of chaos or drama, and you're just not about that. I feel with this Nine of Swords energy that you are kind of like beginning to see that there could be new potential possibilities on your horizon in the next coming weeks. I feel a lot of you, because there's a letter here, I mean, this could be an event or an invitation to something. And although you're like, oh, it's probably going to end up the same way, I feel like you're going to be pleasantly surprised that you meet a person who really aligns with who you are and what you want in a relationship, okay? But for the majority of you, this can be an indication that you're going to hear from someone from your past who tries to set you back emotionally. You know, this person is chaos. It's like when they breeze into town, they leave a wake of destruction in your heart. So I want you to be aware that this person could be about to re-enter your life for a lot of you there. And the Nine of Swords with the Chariot card can indicate, especially since it's crossing, it's like it never seems to go anywhere. So you feel in this endless cycle repeat of like making 2 steps forward with this person, but then also 4 steps back. So it can be that, you know, you are trying to get closure on this. You're finally saying no. So when they come back into your life, a lot of you are going to surprise this person and say, nope, I'm all good by myself. And the universe is going to reward you for getting that closure, shutting that down, and not sacrificing yourself or your needs in a relationship. And they're going to align you with the person that you're meant to be with. The crossing card is the Chariot, which again can indicate a lot of you, it's about direction. And some of you have felt a loss of direction recently. Maybe in the last couple of years, you felt that your life has been turned upside down in some way. It doesn't have to be connected to love. It can be that everything's just been a mile a minute, constant change or chaos, and you're trying really hard to recalibrate and stay on track. You're trying to ambitiously move towards your goals. And, you know, the thing that you sacrifice right now in order to prioritize your own needs is searching for love. You may have put it on hold because you feel there's other priorities that you need to focus on right now. But the Chariot card indicates that, you know, yes, there has been a delay, as it were, or there's been a setback when it comes to love. But it doesn't mean that that's the end of your love story. The Chariot card indicates that, you know, you will gain momentum. You will suddenly decide to move forward and take action on something. A lot of you are traveling to an event, or you're thinking about a vacation, perhaps for some of you, but I feel like you're in motion when you meet this person. It feels like you're not going to meet this person in your usual parameters. It's outside of where you usually frequent, as it were, and you shall have victory. Suddenly the motivation will arise within you to take action and search out new, exciting, bold, and daring things to do. I feel a lot of you, there is this passionate event, or, you know, maybe a creative endeavor, something that excites you, that is going to be I don't want to say frequented by you, because it feels like a one-off thing. So it could be an event, it could be a festival, it could be a place where you explore your passions or your hobbies. But I definitely see here you have a desire for a new adventure, and you've been sitting on this Either you haven't been booking it, or you have been thinking about doing it, or perhaps you've booked it and it has yet to arrive date-wise. But when you go to this event, I feel like you're going to have so much fun. It could be an invitation, doesn't have to be an event, but I feel like you're going to a place and this is where you're going to meet the right person, okay? So my guys want you to be aware of this tree, okay? And, you know, there's this tornado there. It's almost like if you've been avoiding love because you've been protecting your heart, maybe past experiences have taught you that love hurts, or whether you have been someone who's been single your whole life, that you just don't expect love to come anymore. It's just not going to happen for you. This is an indication that you cannot avoid it, because as you can see there, we've got another tree rooted to the spot, and there's a maze. Yes, it may be very hard to find love, to find the right one, but ultimately you will hit the jackpot. You will find the person that you will grow with. You will plant roots with this new person. But I feel some of you, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, this is like a wake-up call to kind of like come out of the funk or change something. There's a lifestyle change here. You're doing something different than you usually do, and this is going to bring you to meeting this person. But ultimately, you're doing something for yourself first. Nines tend to be solitary energy. So you're doing something that excites you. You have to travel there. And whatever it is, it's going to bring immense pleasure and joy and fun. And you're going to meet the person of your dreams there. You're going to start talking to this person. Good communicator is what I'm being given. But the earthly plane position right now, you probably don't believe me because you're in the hangman energy, which is like, where are they at, Baba? I can't see them. The hangman indicates wait. It's a very sparse environment. You've been put on pause on purpose. And a lot of you, your world has literally been turned upside down, and you're just taking stock of the changes that you've been through, and you're trying to learn more about yourself, elevate, evolve away from past experiences. But with the Two of Wands there, I feel like you've been waiting a long time for love. And Two of Wands normally means, you know, what are you waiting for? Get out of your comfort zone. Get out there. There's a whole wide world, billions of people out there, and there is one person who's specifically laid out for you. So what you're waiting for? But circumstance is not always like that. Sometimes there's challenge. Sometimes there's responsibilities, and you have to wait for the right moment. So some of you may feel, of course, you have been waiting, but now it feels like you're taking back the power, because the Four of Swords is to wait on your terms. It means you have withdrawn for a reason. And, you know, this wait will put you in a position to know when the right moment is for you to come out of that comfort zone or allow yourself to be seen. Because this can indicate that you've been through some stuff, so you've protected yourself. You know, I'm a Scorpio too, as I mentioned, and sometimes we withdraw. Not because we're testing people, but because we need to work things out. We need to kind of find our way through how we feel, because we feel on a very deep level. And we know what we are offering in a love relationship. The depth that we go to in relationships is so deep that we almost merge to a point where we lose a part of ourselves. And you are learning to love from a healthy place so that you do not sacrifice yourself. So I feel a lot of you have withdrawn, not to give mixed signals to other people who are attracted to you, because actually you do attract a lot of attention. You turn heads, okay? And I do see that a lot of you, there is a flirtation here, but also see an energy here of like meeting a person who you have a lot of passion with first. And I just get this energy of you not testing them, but withdrawing to see how they deal with the distance. I don't know, I'm just getting this energy of you kind of like having a spark with a person, but also having this deep undercurrent feeling of like, there's something just not 100% there. So you kind of wait and watch, because the Four of Swords is to protect oneself or to withdraw. And the Eight of Swords, I mean, a maze is pretty much a puzzle. You know, it is to work something out. And it can be that you like do not give this person direct access to you because you're uncertain. It's like if you look at these two cards, we got a Knight of Wands, which normally means a player. normally means someone who's very passionate, very intense, very playful, very free-spirited, shall we say, not looking for a long-term relationship. Then we've got someone like a Knight of Swords who has lifestyle differences, of course, but also is someone who is looking at their future, someone who is going places, someone who basically is courageous to wear their heart on their sleeve, for example. And if you have the Eight of Swords energy, it's like you are the prize. Okay, you've created stability in your life. Even though there's a lot of changes around you, I feel like you're focused on your stability. You're focused on wanting to settle down with somebody. But ultimately around you is this maze. This time round, you're not going to let the wrong one in. You're going to let the right one in. And it's not that you're going to test people, but there could be some actions that you will take to almost like make it harder for someone to have access to you, because you're fed up of people not investing time or energy. You don't want to, give someone complete access to you straight away. I'm just getting that energy coming through. So maybe that's a conversation you've been having with self, that you're not going to make yourself so available in a relationship that a person needs to work for you, right? Because you are the prize. If anyone is entering the maze, the prize is the tree in the center. You're starting off. This is your card. You've been through some stuff. You're still standing. You know, that tornado is coming at that tree, but that tree has been around for some time. That's almost like Tornado Alley right there. And even in a sparse environment where there's nothing else growing there, you're still going through a period of growth. You're still standing. And even though this tornado will come and pass by, chances are that tree is still going to be standing. You've weathered some stuff, right? So it feels with this maze that now they're going to have to go through a series of events to get to have direct access to you. You've protected yourself because of your previous experiences. So I feel it's almost like you haven't lost in love. People have lost you in love. And that's what I'm feeling from your reading, that you're trying to get to grips with this within yourself and recognize that you are a gift when it comes to love. You offer a love like no one else. And, you know, sometimes that can intimidate the wrong person. So now you are waiting for the right person, and you've put yourself on hold to make sure that you do not sacrifice what's important to you. And you're learning. You're in a process of learning and healing at this time. Two of Wands, you know, in the past, it is a past position. It can indicate that you've always been left waiting in some way, or it can indicate that you've even waited for a person to make a decision in love, and you're not doing that anymore. You're shutting that down. You're getting closure on that. But the Two of Wands also indicates on a personal level, because a lot of your energy with the letter, it's making a declaration to self. It's like working something out, writing something down there for you. Nine of Swords is questioning. Hangman is learning new knowledge. Two of Wands is like aligning yourself with taking a break in order to work out what it is you want, to align yourself with a perfect situation for you. So I feel this card highlights that, you know, the universe is now aligning with your vision of what you see for your future when it comes to love. And a lot of you could have literally written down the traits that you want in a person: kind, loving, honest. Never write down what you don't want. The universe doesn't actually understand the words. It's the vibrations and the energy and the emotions. So every time you say, I don't want this in my life, have you noticed that you keep attracting that? Because the energy is you putting this out. That's what you don't want to feel or experience or have in your life. But it's an energy, and energy matches energy. So when you put the energy out, whether you want it or not, the universe is just connecting the vibration to that thing and just drawing it closer to you. So always say what you do want. Feel how it is to be in a loving relationship with the right person. Imagine yourself, what sort of person you want, what they look like. You know, imagine yourself going on a date with that person, taking a shower with that person, you know, traveling with that person, because that's the vibration. It gives a different energy and draws that person into your life rather than focusing on the things that you don't want. You know, in the past, when I was in a relationship that pretty much broke me, after that, I basically hadn't evolved, didn't understand. I was running away from my spiritual gifts at the time as well. So, you know, I didn't have a very deep connection to my guides. There were moments where I was like, what was that? That was weird. Did I just hear a voice? I saw that vision. What's that? I'm crazy. And I was like, no, I was running away from it. But when I was wanting love after that horrible experience in love that pretty much broke me to be a shell of a person, you know, what I said to the universe was, I don't want anyone who lies. I don't want anyone who is abusive. I kept saying all of these things, and I kept meeting people after that that was like, what? What is happening here? I'm meeting very similar people. And then when I started to surrender to my spiritual gifts, my intuition, my knowingness, then I started to realize, and my guides came in and started to inform me, it's about the vibrations you give out. The more you say you want something with happiness and joy, then the more you will attract that rather than the thing that you don't want. So, you know, if you're like wanting quiet all the time, you're like, I don't want noise. You'll find that the universe will send you way more noise, right? So just be aware of how you talk about things or what you express to the universe. And I'm only mentioning that because the Nine of Swords are all about the mind. They're about communication. And, you know, especially with the Nine of Swords, this can be you shifting negative self-talk. Okay, so if you've had previous relationships in the past that were very turbulent, you know, it can be that that's what you expect in the future. Or you kind of say, I don't want something like that again in the future, but you're attracting with a vibration because you keep like remembering it. Every time we remember something from the past, we connect to that vibration. That's something that is very hard to reconcile within self, but it is something that, you know, can amplify previous experiences that have been challenging. If you live in the past, in memories that are not fond memories, we automatically connect to that past vibration and make it our present because you're connecting to it via a memory, if that makes sense, okay? So the Two of Wands here, it indicates that you are recognizing now that there is a big, wide world out there, billions of people. And some of you have wondered, is there anyone out there for you? Well, the answer is yes. In fact, there's two people who are going to try and get your attention, but only one that can love you in the way that you truly deserve and desire. So the Two of Wands does highlight that you will have a choice. And a lot of you, it's connected to, interesting, thank you so much, I'm truly grateful. My guide said, remember the song. So the song was, I Want to Know What Love Is. And it was by Foreigner. So that can indicate some of you are traveling because you have the Chariot card. We got the World in this card. So if you are traveling, I mean, this could also indicate that a person from overseas will be coming to where you live or where you work or wherever you frequent in your life. And they are not your usual type, or they are from out of town, perhaps. And this can indicate that this is the person who is right for you. And then you will conduct a relationship accordingly, as it were. But right now, I would say, for those of you who are not communicating to someone at this present moment, I would say a lot of you are going to be called to focus on yourself and prioritize your own needs at this time, because the potential position at this moment in time, along with the next 6 weeks position, the Eight of Swords, 8 is the number of the self. So this is about you kind of taking a break from dating, prioritizing healing or relaxing, resting. Life is pretty challenging, especially since you've got a Nine of Swords. It feels like you have a lot going on for you right now. You're pushed and pulled in many different directions. And thanks so much, I'm so grateful. My guides gave me an energy. It's about a quote about you being the storm. You are the storm, okay? You are the force to be reckoned with. You are the person who requires a very strong person to walk by your side. So this is a time to value yourself, to recognize that you are a gift, and only in stillness can this wisdom come. So I feel a lot of you are taking stock of things and withdrawing in order to prioritize the little things in life that mean a lot to you. Four of Swords is closure from the past, finally, but it could be that as you're closing down something with a past person, they try to come on in, Vibrationally, they can feel you. Just as you're about to say, you know what, I'm over that person completely, they come on in. But I do feel with that Four of Swords, you really are cutting ties with this person. And it's interesting because sometimes we can hold on to a past narrative because it's familiar. And a lot of you are kind of like uprooting everything that's familiar in your life right now. I feel like you're just going through that rebirth stage. I feel like you're going through this transformative energy where you are literally the phoenix rising from the ashes. And sometimes, you know, when we let go of familiarity, whether it's a cycle of repeat with a person or whether it's a place that we always go, if we always do the same thing, we're always going to get the same outcome. And if you're not happy with the same outcome, change must occur. So I feel right now you are about to do something radical and change your life. Eight of Swords, a lot of you have been feeling stuck in a rut, or you're so fed up with the options right now that you cannot see how you're about to meet love. And the only thing that you can do is focus on yourself, but that's what you've been called to do. So you are on target, you are on course. And there are certain like events or moments in your life, almost like plot points that you must get to in your life in order to move on to the next stage. And I feel very much like you're about to move to the next stage. And that's where, you know, you're feeling a little bit stuck in a rut, going through a period of personal development and growth. I mean, I feel like you are protecting yourself. I feel like the maze has been constructed around you based on what you've been going through in life. So whether you've been unwell, managing health issues or symptoms at this time, or whether you just feel like right now you're just not ready for love. You want it, but you feel like there's a certain process you need to go through first before you open yourself, allow yourself to be seen. I feel like you are taking that and building a construct around yourself in order to prepare yourself for love or create space for the right love to come on in. And the Wheel of Fortune is destiny and fate and says, well, surprise, love is coming for you. This is the equivalent of the key, destiny. You are going to meet the right person, and they are going to try and break down the walls and get to know who you are. They're going to make an effort to move through that maze, and they are going to really proceed until they get to know the real you. The right person is going to want to know who you are. They're going to want to plan a future with you, and they're not going to leave you with questions or leave you feeling a little bit lost in a relationship, if that makes sense. They're not going to be inconsistent. With the Wheel of Fortune, a lot of you, because this is advice to yourself in this moment, you're leaving it up to fate. You're saying, you know what is meant for you will never pass you by, and you're right. And this Wheel of Fortune, it basically highlights change, radical change. Suddenly, out of the blue, you are about to meet a person who is completely going to change your life, but you're also going to change theirs. And I feel you're destined to meet this person, and it feels like you're destined to meet them traveling, or, you know, kind of traveling to an event, something that's outside your usual circumstances. It can be connected to an invitation or correspondence, because we've got the letter, and this is the circumstances outside of yourself. The pigeon is synonymous for delivering messages. It is the messenger, right? And because you've got the letter, and we've got the pigeon there, and they've literally got like a letter box right there, this can indicate that the universe hears your message and wants to deliver what you truly deserve in a relationship. That's what I'm feeling. And as I said, I'm kicking myself because earlier I saw those two pigeons. So I feel like, you know, your soul song is going to match a person who's out there for you. You're not going to be alone. I feel like your single status will change. I have to say it's not going to be in the next 6 weeks, okay? Because the 6 weeks position is the Eight of Swords. Whoever I'm picking up on here, I feel like it's outside the 6 weeks position. Eight of Swords indicates you really focusing on your own personal growth, protecting yourself at this time, maybe feeling a bit bereft when it comes to love, feeling like love is a maze itself. It just feels like you're lost when it comes to finding love. You don't know how to put yourself in a position to find love. But the universe is saying, don't search for it. Do something for you. 8 is the number of the self. 8 of Wands is you moving forward, taking action. And you're going to be put on the path to meet the right person. The universe hears you and wants to deliver your soulmate. Okay, so I feel a lot of you are going to be taking action or booking something or receiving some sort of like event, invitation. I'm not seeing like wedding here. I'm not seeing, I mean, it could be a birthday. It could be just a fun festival event. For example, it could be something that you're passionate about. But I feel like you will actually go to an event that you're invited to. And if you haven't received that invitation just yet, you will receive that in the next 6 weeks. And that is something that will literally transform your options, shall we say. Now we have the 5 of Pentacles. This is in the hope and fear position. 5 of Pentacles can indicate a lot of you have been either abandoned in a relationship in the past or been ghosted in some way. But it can also indicate that, you know, even though you have searched for love, it has always left you feeling empty in some way, or you're meeting people that don't have an affinity with you. They don't have that spark, and there's this emptiness. So you've stopped trying and you've almost like given up on love. And there is a longing there, a sadness. And I feel a lot of you have been the victim of a previous relationship that has really like been very turbulent. That's what I'm seeing with that 9 of Swords. But in this position, in this spread, you read this card in the reverse as well. And this means where there is lack of opportunity, suddenly hope returns. For some of you, if you have removed yourself from the dating scene because you've been unwell, for example, this can be that you're on a period to recoup your energy and recover. You're taking time out for you. That doesn't mean that love is going to pass you by. It means that you're going to get back to best so you can be ready to create space for the right love to come on in. But, you know, I would say that there is a flourishing here. You know, I feel where you have struggled to find the right person, suddenly you're going to move on and you're going to meet a person where it just feels easy. You know, the right person is not going to leave. Life is challenging. And when you're in a relationship, it's like a team. It's you and them against the world, okay? Because life is full of challenge. So you don't need someone who is going to bail at the first sense of trouble, or, you know, when the going gets tough, because life gets tough sometimes. And you need to know that you've got someone who's got your back in a relationship, because you are ride or die. You're the sort of person who would be there for anybody that is close to you at any time of day. You would just be there to help them out. And you need a person who has your back in the same way. And I feel in the past you've not met that person, but now you're about to meet this person, because this person is a warrior. This person is strong. They're bold. This person has courage. And also, I feel there's a distance between you and this person. So, I mean, for some of you, there could be some online dating. If you're into that, not everybody is. So I feel either an invitation for some of you or online dating. And you could connect with a person online who has distance between you, but I feel this will develop into something over time, and you will find a way to compromise and move closer to each other or move in with each other midway points along the way. But I feel the majority of you, there is some sort of invitation or an event, something that you book, that you'll go to, where you have a lot of fun. Because I'm getting 2 energies from this Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is all about adventure, seeking new experiences, being unstoppable, passion rising up within you and saying, you know what, I trust that I'm being called to do this right now and I'm remaining true to my vision, but I also have value. So you're not sacrificing yourself. I feel there is an energy here of flirtation, of, you know, chemistry. So I need to pull a card because there's 2 knights here, which can indicate that there are 2 options that you'll have to choose from. And the Hangman indicates you're going to have to let someone down. So let me just pull a quick card on these 2 knights for you. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, because the Knight of Wands is often connected to a player, as I mentioned, and the Knight of Swords is someone who sees the future and walks with you in that. Hangman. So the Hangman can be someone who either put you on hold or someone who turned your world upside down. I'm clarifying the Knight of Wands right now. Someone who makes you wait or made you wait. We have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, they turned their back to the past. So this can be someone that you've gone cold with, someone who perhaps there's anger with there as well, someone you're cutting out, someone that you're phasing out of your life. I feel you may have some coarse words with this person. This could be an ex, or it could be someone who you just never know where you stand with this person. Eight of Wands, you're moving on. You've got the Eight of Wands there. You're moving on towards a new destination, a new chapter in your life. And a new chapter requires a new version of you. And that's why you've been put on hold. You've been in a period of self-development. Also, Eight of Wands, that indicates some sort of news or correspondence. That's why you've got the Eight of Wands there. You've got the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So I would say there's some sort of news or correspondence coming on in that changes everything. A lot of you is connected to an event. That's what I'm picking up on. Okay, we've also got the Empress. We've got the Justice. So this is about you recognizing that you are a gift, choosing healthier options, nourishing yourself in a certain way, knowing that you are attractive and you are someone who is magnetic, getting a lot of attention, but it's about being discerning about the right attention. Also, the Empress energy can indicate that you're going to get out into nature. And we got the Justice card here as well. So this can be you making some adjustments in your life. You've been in a period of personal development and growth. And the Justice card indicates you're doing what is right for you. You have a soul contract with a person, but I feel like you have a soul contract with two people here. One is a person who you are meant to spend your life with, and the other person was meant to teach you lessons about your value. Okay? The Justice card can indicate that someone from your past will tell you about karma, delivering them, and they want to make amends. There's a lot of regret there. But also the Justice card can indicate that you're judging a person and saying, actually, I'm getting closure on the situation and I will not be reconnecting to this at this time. The Four of Cups, you're so fed up with either someone's behavior or even love, the way it has gone, but the universe is offering you a surprise just when you are beginning to lose hope when it comes to love. The universe steps in to offer you a love like no other. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Four of Cups, the figure is under the tree, 3 cups in front of them. Those cups represent experiences, and the figure has lost their taste for those experiences because they're fed up. Same old thing, just ends up in disappointment. They're disenchanted with love, and that's why I feel your maze right there is your disenchantment with love itself. And the figure has arms closed on the Four of Cups. They're like not receiving love at this time. And the universe says, okay, I understand, but what about this one? And there's a very turbulent cloud on the Four of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. Perhaps representative of the Nine of Swords there with that turbulent cloud, very ominous cloud there. And out of that turbulent cloud on the Four of Cups, a hand of the universe comes in, destiny, fate, the Wheel of Fortune, as it were, and offers a new cup. Now, if you measure the cups, the cup coming from the cloud in the sky is bigger than all the other cups. This is your big love story that's about to be delivered. Yes, it's going to be a surprise. And yes, it is a long-term commitment, something that is going to basically meet your expectations. I feel like you are not going to be closed off to this person. I feel they're a little bit different than your usual type, but that's not going to put you off. This person respects you. This person, I feel like they're going to pursue you. And I feel like you're going to basically put all the ghosts of the past to bed and even forget about all those experiences, because the new love experience you're about to have with a new person is going to not cancel them out, but it feels like you're going to be so submerged and involved in this new love relationship that you're going to be like, what ex? What experience? Don't remember them. It almost like phases them out. When the right love comes along, you don't even think about the past ever. Not at all. So I feel that's the state that you're going to be in. But it does require some sort of lifestyle choice and change for you. So whether that's doing something bold and daring and different, I feel like you will have a choice. So your choices, let me say it before I get your final cards. Your choices are, some of you are going to hear from an ex and you're going to shut that down. This person has nothing new to say. I feel like they have tried hard to overcome something, but they just cannot. And I feel like you don't want to go around and repeat a cycle with that person again. I feel you're about to also meet a person where there is chemistry, but you feel deep down there's something that makes you question. So you may let this person down and say, actually, you're amazing, but we just don't align. And then there is the person that comes in that you're like, this is the one. So I'm getting two sides of the camp. This card, I just want to clarify so it's real clear. This card represents, for some of you, an ex. But also, for the majority of you, it represents a person where there's a lot of chemistry, but it's kind of like a flirtation or a potential fling if you're looking for no strings attached, okay? You get to decide, but I feel like you have the option of that. But then there is a person who literally will change your perspective on love. And this is the person that they're not intimidated by your walls. They want to get to know you better. They confront you. They call you out on your stuff. We all have stuff. You know, they are bold. They're daring. They are adventurous. They're kind. They're loving. They have no attachments to their exes, so they've got no secrets. So I feel like you're about to meet a person that is, you know, going to present an opportunity to spend your life with them. So I feel in the next 6 weeks, you're all about yourself. But after that, I feel like there's an event or a place that you go to where you will meet a person and strike up a conversation. There's going to be a lot of getting to know each other. And then it's going to develop into something really special. We have daydream, okay? So that came up in your reading. Really think about the sort of person you want. Write it down or connect to the energy. Visualize a sort of relationship you want, because thoughts become things. And you got number 11 here. So that is an alignment vibration. 11 is soulmate energy. So think and you can make it become your reality. What you can see in your mind, you can literally have in your hand. Lots of stars there. So this is about a wish being delivered when it comes to a relationship. So I definitely see you aligning with meeting a new person, and then you get to decide where you take it to next, okay? So I'm just going to go and it was a very complex reading. Don't know if you felt that, but so we have a letter F. This could be relevant, okay? Could be an initial, could be the first letter of a place. F. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there. It'll be personalized to you. May not make sense right now, but perhaps in the next 6 weeks it will start to. We also have the Mars energy of taking action, but also being right on target. Cupid's arrow. Okay, so I would say that yes, you are going to fall in love, but perhaps there is something you need to take action on or a place that you need to go to. And also we've got a rocket. So this can be an out-of-this-world experience or someone that is outside your usual type. But most importantly, the rocket basically symbolizes a desire to explore outside your usual parameters, okay? So a period of exploration, knowing about what you want in a relationship, and I feel things will literally start to take off from there, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Scorpio. Hope something resonates there for you in some way. Thank you so much, and love and light.